Most people think investing is about picking the right stock, the right moment, the perfect move. But that belief alone is exactly why they never build real wealth, because they are playing a game that rewards something completely different. And this mistake is not small. It is costing them years, sometimes decades, without them even realizing it. Because while they are chasing fast results, trying to outsmart the market, jumping from one opportunity to another, they are slowly destroying the one thing that actually creates money at scale time. And here is the uncomfortable truth. You do not lose in investing when the market drops. You lose when you cannot stay in the game long enough to recover. That's the rule. Not strategy, not prediction, not intelligence. Survival. Because the market does not reward who is the smartest. It rewards who is still standing after everyone else has been forced out. Think about it. The people who made millions were not the ones who were always right. They were the ones who simply refused to disappear. And most people disappear early. They panic when things go down. They get excited when things go up. They react. They adjust. They interfere constantly, thinking they are improving their results. But every reaction comes with a cost. Because every time you exit, even for a moment, you interrupt the most powerful force in investing. Compounding. And compounding is not just important, it is everything. At the beginning, it feels slow, almost invisible, like nothing is happening, which is exactly why most people underestimate it. They look at their results after a few months, maybe a year, and they feel disappointed. So they change strategies, they move money, they chase something better, and without noticing, they reset their progress again and again. But what they do not understand is that compounding is not linear. It is silent at first, then suddenly unstoppable. And if you break it before that moment, you never experience the part where money starts accelerating. That is why the real winners look boring from the outside. They're not constantly moving, not reacting to every headline, not chasing every opportunity. They are simply staying in the game while everyone else is getting eliminated. And this is where most people make the biggest mistake. They think risk is losing money, but the real risk is being forced out of the market. Because losses are temporary, but exiting at the wrong time can destroy years of progress instantly. This is why crashes do not actually destroy wealth. They expose weak positions. They expose people who built their strategy on short-term thinking, on emotions, on the need for quick results. Because when pressure hits, they cannot hold. And once they are out, everything resets. Time resets, compounding resets, momentum resets. And getting back in is always harder than staying in. So the real question is not what stock will make you rich, not what strategy will outperform, not when to buy or sell. The real question is simple. Can you stay invested long enough without breaking the process? Because if the answer is no, nothing else matters. You can be right 10 times and still lose everything with one bad exit. But if the answer is yes, everything changes. You stop reacting, you stop chasing, you stop trying to control the uncontrollable, and you start playing the only game that actually works. Endurance. Because in investing, time is not just important. Time is the entire advantage. The longer you stay, the more the odds shift in your favor. Not slowly, but exponentially. And that is the part most people never reach. They quit right before it gets real, right before the curve turns, right before the results become undeniable. So they spend years moving without progressing, working without compounding, trying without winning. While a small group does the opposite. They stay, they wait, they let the system work. And over time, the gap becomes massive. Not because they were smarter, but because they lasted longer.